Good morning. It's tea time with me, and it's so good to see you. There's my Brandy. Let me know if you guys can hear me. We are still trying this out and seeing if it works. So I hope you can hear me. Jen's checking. Oh, I sound fine. Oh, thank you. Oh, yay. So, happy National Library Week. It runs from the 23rd to the 29th of April this year. And I love my local library. I'm very, very lucky in that my local library has a fantastic makerspace where they have sewing machines and 3D printers and poster printers and CNC machines and laser cutters and you name it. Meeting rooms where I've used them to do a podcast there for a short bit. So I need to go to the library. I haven't been in a while. Yeah, it's the more you go, the more you interact. Oftentimes you can help them make changes. And kind of ask for things, what are y'all's programs? What are you looking forward to? What do you need help with? Are you guys seeking grants? Because my library gets grants to put on certain things, and they put on some cool stuff. So check out your local library. Give them a little love. They could use it. So it's nano time. And I have worked 53% of the days of this month on my project. So I've had a few too many days off, way over the 4 I was supposed to have off. But that's okay. I got sick. My body needed me to heal. So I'm still considering as much work as I've gotten done as a win. And I hit 17K words today, almost 18K, and got 2 chapters done. So thank you for everybody who joined me in the Discord for a little bit of writing sprints. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, and this is the first time you're on here, I am S.A. Crow. I'm an author of romance suspense novel series called the Fire series. I have 2 books out. We are reading from book 2 right now. If you'd like to hear me read book 1, you can head on over into my page and click Tea Time Into the Fire, which is book 1. And I have been drafting book 5 this month. And so it's been not the story that's the problem. It's been health that was the problem. So the story is still good, and I know I'll have some free time later that I can work on it. So, I may pick it up another month. I may pick it up next year and finish it, but it's still there, and I will still have it backed up. Hi, Rach. Speaking of Rach, she hit winner status. Woohoo! Okay, so I do have a few things. I am doing a workshop next month, the second weekend of the month, and it is Social Media for Authors Part 2. If you would like to sign up for that and get the link to the private YouTube videos on those days, then you need to sign up. Share it with your friends. If you haven't taken part 1, you can always get part 1 on buymeacoffee.com/SACrow. Link to that is down below. And you can get all my workshops there. Good morning, Rita. Rita is our author of the month. Yeah, she's our April author of the month with her Wattpad story, Lear, Essence of Elements novel. Look for her on Wattpad as Miranda Magic, all one word. And our beautiful Brandy has journals. And I have my copy. Brandy, just look for Brandy Bullock on Amazon and you will find her journal. She has a new journal out, which is a meal planner journal, but I have this one. And it makes me happy. So yeah, share if you would like to take part in that workshop. That workshop is going to be for free. I do have a workshop that's free this whole year on YouTube. It is the Writer's Notebook. You can view those videos in my playlist. So that one will be free all year. But if you'd like to take it privately and work specifically for you, you can always take the paid version. Let's see. Oh, I exited things I didn't want to exit. Oops. What else do we have going on? Rach has a free novella that you can get called The Pax Dragon. You just have to sign up for her newsletter. Also, if you would like to be considered for our Bookapalooza summer book giveaway, you can sign up, and I will share the link in just a moment. You can find that link on the Wings for Writers Linktree. Sign up to be considered an author for this giveaway. We will be, as a team, looking at what you have to offer and discussing a few things with you before the giveaway. So if you would like to be considered, you can go ahead and sign up. If you think you know an author that would be an awesome addition to that, have them sign up and we will take them under advisement. Of course, you can also join the Facebook group for the Bookapalooza and win you some books and some swag and maybe some gift cards, because that would be awesome. So here's a question, since it is National Library Week. Some authors are not comfortable with their books being in the library because then they only get one sale or one sale per library, as you were. So that is my biggest question. How do you feel about your book being available to libraries? If you are strictly on Amazon, that's kind of a hard thing. You would have to donate a book to your local library. Do you put your book in the National Archives? That's a question. So yeah, it's an interesting perspective on some authors not wanting their books to be in libraries. But my thing is if your book is in a library, then someone like me who may not know who you are, may not want to spend the money, may not have the money to spend on a book right then, I may look you up in my library and then read you. And then I might look for your other books. So let's see. I get a kickback for every checkout from digital libraries. Not sure I understand. Yeah, I think supporting libraries, public or even schools, is something that more people should do. Very, very true. Very true. And getting today's water, not tea. Sorry. Um, well, if you have, because not everybody does a digital to the libraries. Some people do physical books. Personally, I can't wait to donate my paperback to my local library. I know. I wanted to do a book signing at my library, but they charged for that, and I didn't have the funds to do that. But I hope to do it sometime soon. But yeah, some people. Let me see. I know there's been controversy over it. Controversy city on so one thing that has been a controversy over the fact is that local libraries have become political battlegrounds lately about book banning and then there's the fact that if you want to request your library have a book and request that they have your book, you have to actually tell them why you think they should have your book. So we had a local writer talk at our library and we paid her. Oh, very cool. Yeah. They didn't talk about paying me, but I have done a haiku workshop at my local library during April for Poetry Month. I will definitely donate some books. Yeah, I know. I plan to donate my books as well. And that's the reason why I wanted my first book to be wide release and went with Ingram Sparks, which if you haven't seen my battle with Ingram Sparks video, you can find that in my playlist. But that's why I picked to go wide, because they offered to put it on library lists. So yeah, I need to contact my library, see how I can get donations made to them. So my books are there. I also would like to get my books into circulation at my local bookstore half price. That would be fun. So do you guys worry about your books being banned from a library or something like that? I figure we're so small that we're rarely going to be considered for banning. But yeah, I mean, in one way, it's great advertisement, because then people who don't support banning read your books, or people who want to definitely read anything that's considered taboo will definitely want to read your books. But then, yeah, especially for young adult writers, I worry about that. Can't ban something I haven't finished. Oh, true. But you're going to finish. You're going to finish, Brandy. I know you are. I don't mind if it gets banned. I'll make a fuss about it and get free publicity. Very true. My stuff is for adults and are taboo on so many levels. Yeah, my urban fantasy series would definitely be taboo on a lot of levels. But it's for adults. It strictly says for adults. But I do worry about young adult authors and being banned. I'm completely against banning books.
But banning books brings more business.
That is true. Like Jen said, banning books brings more business. But yeah, I was very lucky. I don't know if I've talked about this. Good. But I was very lucky growing up. Both my mother's side of the family and my father's father never censored my material. Considering a character is pansexual and his previous relationship was very BDSM. Yes. But like, I would have so much to spend in a bookstore, and they would tell me that's how much I had to spend. And I could grab any book that I thought I wanted and I thought I could read. And so I was never censored, and I never understood censoring. I could pick up any book that was in the house and try to read it if I wanted to. Brandy says, I wasn't censored either. My grandmother was giving me historical romance books as early as 10 or 11. I was reading historical romance novels around 7. So, yeah.
My great-grandmother wrote romance books while in the romance/smut books while she was in the nursing home.
Jen's grandmother wrote...
Great-grandmother.
Her great-grandmother wrote romance novels while she was in the nursing home. Yeah, that's a great way to pass time. No censorship was how we raised our kids. We explained things to them as they watched or read as needed. I felt like if they were censored, they may not be prepared for real life. Yeah, my dad was very much of the case of, as long as he didn't have to hear it, he was fine. I do admit that I wasn't your average child. I had some of my childhood ripped away from me. So, yeah. But I also think that because I wasn't censored, I enjoyed reading because I read what I wanted to read. I have a roommate who, at her school, they had this program where, based off of your grade, there were certain colors. So, like, say, grade 4, your color was green. So you couldn't read any other books that had a sticker of another color. You did censor your kids' movies, though. Yeah. My dad let me watch Jaws at 7, so it was kind of too late to censor me by then. I was like, oh, okay. And I had my own television. So once I lived with him, so I was going to watch what I wanted to. But so, and her mom didn't take her to the library, and her mom didn't take her to bookstores. And so she never grew up enjoying reading. And her parents never read in their spare time, where my family, if you weren't doing something, you would probably be reading. So yeah, my daughter was watching Purple Rain at 4. When she turned 6, she started asking questions that I didn't think she was really ready for. My parents were horror fans, so yeah, I had to learn real quick. But my mother was more strict about sex scenes. I don't know. When it comes to sex scenes, I'm of a different opinion than some, because I'm like, it's the human body and it's a natural thing. But it's between consenting adults, and that's something that I would have told my children, that act is between consenting adults. You are not an adult, therefore you cannot consent. Yeah, and then I probably would have laughed about how fake the scene was. Because that's something I actually did laugh with my dad about, because somehow the conversation came up about Cinemax After Dark, and I'm like, yeah, how do people have sex with their high heels on? Aren't they afraid they're gonna like poke out an eyeball? And my dad lost it. Of course, back then I didn't understand, the appeals or anything like that. So I was just like confused. Like, I'd be afraid I'm gonna poke something important, But I was a strange kid, so my dad got a small adult instead of a child, and he tried to let me have a childhood, but by that point, I was a small adult. So it was kind of hard for him. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's enough of how terrifying my childhood was, probably. So what do y'all say we get on to the next chapter? Okay. And of course, we are reading chapter 8. Oh, wait. My censorship to my kid comes from a place of childhood trauma. In some ways, I did shelter them too much. Oh, everybody's got their own opinions. Completely. And that's where it should be, I think. Okay. So we're reading chapter 8 in The Fire Inside. If you would like to listen to the previous chapters, they're in the playlist for Tea Time, The Fire Inside. Tony. The smell of baking biscuits, breakfast sausage, and the creamy scent of gravy brings me out of sleep. The aching limbs, stiff from sleeping on the small cream-colored couch, demand I stretch. Rubbing sleep from my eyes, I move through my morning exercises, the cool air from the vents caressing my naked chest and back. I have a therapist appointment today. Anna's voice fills the silence. I whirl in place, having expected it to be Walt cooking. Instead, it's Anna standing at the stove, smiling at me. The morning light shines around her in a halo, and my heart contracts painfully, and my lungs burn. She's beautiful. And all I can think about is putting my hands in her dark blonde hair and kissing those plush lips. A sort of heat fills her eyes, mixed with a little mirth at having shocked me. Her eyes are clear. She's even applied light touches of makeup to even out her washed-out skin tone. I can still see her trauma in the shadows under her eyes and in the weight she's lost. I want to hold her, but that's out of the question. I'll have to settle for the joy watching her make a place and get back to her life. I chide myself for wanting, for desiring more with her than I can have. What smells so divine, I ask, smiling once I have a measure of control over my desires. Moving slowly to the dining table, I pull a shirt over my head as I sit, watching at her as she pours a cup of coffee for me from the warm carafe. She's been around us all long enough. She doesn't bother asking if I want cream or sugar. In the military, you have little time to eat. You learn to cut corners, and the first thing to go is adding anything to your coffee. Bringing it to the table, she answers, biscuits and sausage gravy. I breathe in the steam above the plate she places in front of me, piled high with fluffy homemade biscuits and cream sausage gravy. I could use your help with a work-related problem. She tempts me with food before she asks for a favor. Smart woman. I feel a smile pull at the corner of my lips. Her spunk is coming back. Sure, what can I do? I'm not brilliant with a sewing machine, but I've used a needle a time or two. Just ask Nate. Is that how he got that jagged scar on his forearm? He wouldn't hold still, I reply, laughing a little at the memory. We'd taken fire outside of a tiny village in the desert. They grazed and ate when we went to get recon. Everything went snafu, and we weren't going to get an evac anytime soon. He was bleeding like a stuck pig, so I sewed him up when the gunfire quieted as the tangos tried to get a beat on our location. I'm on a tight deadline for my autumn lingerie line, and I need to hire an assistant. I'm going to put an ad out for the job today. Do you mind doing the background checks for me? I can pay you for your time and labor. Of course, we'll help. Don't worry about payment. Friends help friends. I'm digging into my food, trying to concentrate on the meal so I have some place for my eyes to look. What's the inspiration for your line this season? She licks gravy from her fork and describes her ideas between bites of her own food. As I unconsciously focus on her lips, I see she's envisioning what she describes as her eyes take on this faraway look. It's obvious she doesn't know what she's doing to me. I shift uncomfortably in the wooden dining chair. Deep forest paths in autumn, she says. Beiges with emerald green, browns paired with cream, yellow, green, and beige, orange with deep purple, olives mixed with brown, orange and touches of pink like late berries. Sheer fabrics with velvet, lace, and satin ribbons. I haven't seen her this animated in so long. It's as if a part of her is clawing its way out. She continues talking about designs while she's describing the body of the pieces and the accents. She takes on our now empty platter over to the sink. Our now empty plates over to the sink. She's so lost in detailing the design, she stops talking but continues to move her hands. Shockingly, her voice fills the kitchen again, picking up the thread that's been going in her head. Finally, I've got a bodysuit of gauze olive green fabric with lace flower motifs. Brown velvet ribbing acts as a cage crisscrossing the outfit. This is the one I plan to use the vintage French lace on, but Sebastian faked being sick, so I missed the flight and the auction on the lace. That was my first wake-up call. I realized the relationship was costing me more than I was willing to pay. She stares into the sink. I move to the counter beside her, and my hands itch to pull her into my arms. You wash and I'll rinse and dry, I offer quickly, my voice gruff with longing. I need to busy my hands before I do something stupid. She smiles at me. That's not helpful. Go lay down.
She smiles at me. That's not helpful. Go lay down. What kind of kink is this?
AJ, go lay down. Sorry, puppy interruption. I offer quickly, my voice gruff with longing. I need to busy my hands before I do something stupid. She smiles up at me, the twinkle from earlier returning to her eyes, and preps the dishes. We do dishes in silence, plates scrape against each other, the sponge squeaks on ceramic, the running water serves as a soundtrack to our private thoughts. I need to finish the designs and get them to the makers, hire models, find photo shoot locations, draw up all advertisements. I love how she starts a conversation like she's been talking to me the whole time. Did I just think of the L word? She doesn't want you. You're a fool. You can't keep loving a woman that blames you for her messed up life. Shaking my head at my love-sick thoughts, I try to remain in the moment and leave the future for later. My phone interrupts her train of thought. Drying my hands, I walk over to the coffee table where I put my phone the night before. The Admiral's name on the screen isn't a surprise. Missy? Using my last name to identify myself, like I did in the military, is a habit I've never likely to change. Tony, can I talk to my daughter? I need to explain why I haven't been there. It's your dad. I hand the phone to her with a smile before grabbing some clothes and my shower kit from my bag. I hear her tell him it's okay and she's free this afternoon after her appointment with the therapist. As I continue into the bathroom, the guest's bedroom door opens, and I note Walt's footsteps moving from the living room. He learned quickly to identify a team member by as many means as possible. You okay, boss? His voice is soft to keep his question private, I nod and he salutes me back and walks back out of the room. Before we leave for Anna's therapy appointment, Elliot takes over Walt's security duties. We turn a few extra times just in case someone is following us before heading north to the cultural district on University Drive. Although Sebastian is in jail and Dyer's sentencing trial is next week, it's routine now. I notice a car as I turn back onto University Drive. It had been behind us for a while, hanging back a few cars, definitely the same car. Without hesitation, I change the route to the office. We lose them somewhere because they don't pop up again. Pulling into the parking lot, I send out a text to the team with an update. It's a generic office. The waiting room is done in cream and art and faux leathered couches from a warehouse sale. It's quiet and empty, so I take advantage of it and text Mom. I cringe when I realize I haven't talked to her for a few months now. What with Travis, Raven, and their stalker situation, and my guilt over it. Hi, Mom. How you doing? What's for dinner? Mom. Oh, my lost son. I'm good, but your father has an ingrown toenail. Lambs ossobuco, white beans, and cavono nero. Parmesan, pomodoro, and bruschetta. Are you coming for dinner? Tell me you're coming for dinner. I love how my mother can ramble on with no break between one subject to another. I'm sure Dad will be okay. What if I bring an old friend? How long have you been here? And you've never now saying something? Bring your friend, of course. Your sister and her husband are coming over too. I haven't seen Gabby in a while. We'll be there at 7. Love you, Mom. Mom, love you too. XOXOXO. I smile at my screen, knowing my family will love to see Anna again. When I was under her father's command, my family grew close to the Admiral, Anna, and her aunt. It was my mother who told me I should date Anna. It was difficult to explain to her why that wasn't possible. She cried when I told her Anna left for France and that she was out of my life. The door opens and Anna shakes hands with the therapist as she comes out and walks to the window to schedule her next appointment. The edge of her jade green skirt flirts with her calves, and the thought of playing my fingers along her sin there flashes unbidden through my mind. A tall man with narrow shoulders and fair-skinned, wide face walks into the waiting area. He makes me feel a little uncomfortable with the way he watches Anna. Did Dyer put photos of Anna on the deep web? Does this person recognize her? Moving up beside her, I rush her out of the space, covering her as much as I can with my height and body, all the way to the car. We make it with no further incident, and I head to I-30 to throw anyone off if they're following us. Would you like to come to dinner with my family tonight? I ask as we pass the old Carswell Air Force Base, now a Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base. I watch for her reaction in the mirror. She glances up from writing in her journal with a smile on her face. I'd love to. I've missed Valentino and Noberto. Her smile grows larger, and I have to force myself to pay attention to the cars around us and not get distracted by her. My sister and her husband will be there too, I add. You can always back out, I half joke. Oh, Gabby, it's like a family reunion. I wouldn't dare miss out on your mother's cooking. She laughs. The sound of her laughter shocks me. I yank the wheel to the right, and we're about to go into the curve before I correct. Everyone is staring at me, and the honking car behind us fills the awkward silence. I almost thought I'd never hear her laughter ever again. After a few moments, she continues like the brief episode didn't happen. I haven't met Gabby's husband. She goes back to writing in her journal. Dad's coming over to the apartment for lunch, she adds while still writing. We'll give you both some space, I answer. While I get onto I-30, not too much space, I think to myself while I watch the cars behind us. So that was chapter 8. Hi, Angel Faye. I hope you enjoyed that chapter. Oh my goodness. So let's see. What all do we have going on? Of course, you can get Raven's cookbook. It is available on Amazon. You can search for that down below. The links are down in the description. We also have a summer stream I will be taking part in. And that's to raise money and awareness for our charity of the year, Meals on Wheels America. Let's see. We have a book club meeting coming up this Thursday. So if you'd like to join us, check out the link tree for On the Wings for Writers. Also, if you would like to book a free consultation for what to do after Nano and what comes next, you can do that. Just go to Buy Me a Cup of Coffee down below. The link's down in the description. And we appreciate and support all our autistic authors and families, members this month because it's Autism Awareness Month. And I have a few autistic, I have one autistic roommate. But I do have some autistic friends. So, here we go. It was good. Yay. Ninja Kitty has taken over my desk. Oh no, no work for you. I just scheduled the May sprint streams. Woohoo! How is everybody? I think we're doing pretty good. I'm about to sign off here and get busy. Don't forget, if you would like to be considered for the giveaway, let me find that link. If you would like to sign up for my next workshop, which is social media for authors, follow this link or go to the link tree for On the Wings for Writers, and it will be there. You have to sign up to get the private YouTube link. So it's very important you sign up. Oh, you're so welcome. I did a Notion stream. Woohoo! Very nice. So I hope you have a fantastic week. I will be back on Friday, but I will not be on YouTube on Saturday because I will be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So I hope you have a fantastic week, and I hope I see you in some sprints. And don't forget to check out my blog post of the week. It will go out on Wednesday, and we'll be talking about Nate, the character from the book I am drafting right now. So thank you. I plan to. I always love being able to go to Louisiana, even if I'm not going to my favorite city. I'm going to get me some good Creole food. So I'm looking forward to it. I will see you all later. Take care, be safe, and take care of yourselves.